Your Excellency, the President, Uhuru Kenyatta, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, Your Excellency, Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, all protocols observed. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ken, or Kenneth, as in Peter Kenneth, not Kennedy. Now, of course, when Mike came here, he talked of my father's boxing skills, and he didn't disclose who suffered. Now, I wasn't the only one, but looking back, I think I got the most of it. And when my other brother talked about my father's love for nice cars, there's a story connected with that nice car and the boxing, which I will explain later before I sit down. The truth of the matter is, out there, Dad was known as a very strict and firm individual, and he was, yes, even at home. But you see, those of you who are out there never see him in a family environment. And even those of us who are on the wrong end of the boxing skills, when you are behaving, things were very smooth. He was a very good dad. I remember Charles on Tuesdays when he used to go from Nyeri to Nairobi to the wheat board meetings. He'd just say, come along, and we'll spend a good time in Nairobi having fun while he's in the board meetings. And then like around Christmas, I remember we benefited, all of us, because tulikuwa tunanunuliwa nguo ya Christmas. Now, and well, before Charles went to the UK, he would actually get us to get suits, proper suits like the one I'm wearing. But after Charles left, and I didn't do very well in school, nikaambiwa sasa reduce to counter suit. And in those days, counter suits for us who are wearing platforms and flares just didn't work. Even the girl you are cheating now, she'll even abandon you. Now, let me go straight to the story of, sorry Charles, I may take a little longer. The story of the nice car and the boxing. One Christmas after we were coming from Kisii, and we had a farm, we have the farm in Sotik, and at that time, there was tarmac on the main road along Sotik, but to go into the farm, we had to use a Land Rover. So Dad had arranged for a Land Rover to come and so that he can park his brand new Mercedes, which Mike always reminds me it was KQB 966. He had parked it on the side of the road, and he told me, we can't leave the car alone, so you're going to sit in here. The music was there, Kenny Rogers and Charlie Pride. And now these were the first cars which had central locking, which we were also not getting used to, which we were getting used to them at that time. And he had mentioned, I think, that should you feel you need to step out of the car, remove the key. But for some reason, because I was not thinking about the central locking cars, I felt, let me come out and stretch. As soon as I stepped out, I had click. Gari lijifunga. Kifungu iko ndani. Na mzee and the rest of the family had gone into the farm. Somehow he got information that I have defied what he had said, and the key was locked inside, and the Mercedes was brand new Mercedes was on the side of the road. Nobody could help me. Now, he was informed that had happened. So now, when he was coming from the farm with the Land Rover to the junction, he didn't even wait for the Land Rover to stop. As it was slowing down, he already jumped out like the security men I see around the president and deputy. He wasn't driving, so he came out and he came straight for me. Now, I was around Form 4. When I was tall, probably I'd even reached his height or a little taller. So, as he's coming for me, and I'm trying to look as helpless as possible. So he comes for me, then the punches begin. And he was very skilled with those punches. And Muhammad Ali had just been knocked out by George Foreman a few weeks earlier. And what surprised me is that he even understood these ones of Kuna moja alininua, I mean, I've always wanted to go up, I've always wanted to go up in life, but not that way. Ilikuja akaninua. Now, the story doesn't end there, but it's about to end. He said, he can't even keep small instructions. He's not going to ride with us in the Mercedes. Now that Land Rover had also brought some goats, which we were supposed to go and eat in Nyeri. So akasema, huyu ataingia ndani ya hiyo, and they should not follow us, because the rest of the family was going to go through Nakuru and have nice food in, I think, Stag's Head. Right. So akasema, huyu na driver na mbuzi direct to Nyeri. So I was at the back of the Land Rover, tunaangaliana na mbuzi. Hata hiyo mbuzi, I think mbuzi ilikuwa na shida, na wewe mtoto mkubwa unafanya nini hapa nyuma? Anyway, eventually we were lucky. The farm manager managed to use, I think there was a bit of space on the driver's side, and fortunately, so it clicked, and I'm sure they went and had very good lunch in Nakuru. Myself, we're going through Nyaururu. I think we stopped somewhere like Daragwa. And the driver and the bodyguard who I was with, wakanunua mahindi chamusha hapo. Wakaniambia mtoto wa mkubwa sikule hata wewe hii. So I was chewing it in the back of the Land Rover, and the goat was wondering, wewe unakula peke yako na tuko pamoja hapa. Anyway, before I sit down, and Charles, you're going to have to give me a minute. And I didn't ask if I can read. This is from Honorable Beth Mogo, because you might have said no, and I have no one to appeal to, because it's only appeal. Amelala hapo. Ukikataa hakuna mtu nitaendea. Wacha tu nisome haraka haraka. This is from Honorable Beth Mogo, who is very close to the family and the grandmother of my two older daughters. If you can allow me to read it very quickly. The friendship between Honorable Nyachae's family and ours dates back very many years. We got to know him when he was a PC, and I called him PC always, even as he rose through to higher rank. Because he left an indelible mark as a PC due to his charismatic leadership. With time, we ended up being in-laws, and he respectably called us Korera. That is in-laws in Kisii. We have since remained friends throughout, and we share grandchildren together. That is Mwango, my first daughter, and Wamboi, my second daughter. From that vantage point, we came to understand Mzee Nyachae very well, and we can say that rarely does a person achieve so much from a tender age and yet still be able to maintain a sense of selflessness in public service. But this is how the late Honorable Nyachae lived his life. He belongs to the first generation of career civil servants who were firmly committed to good governance in public service immediately after independence. In his long journey in leadership, he served this country with an equal perfection, never tiring to actualize his leadership abilities until his retirement. He has therefore left a rich legacy of commitment and dedication in leadership, as well as excellence in public service. This legacy is worth emulating by the younger generation in order to enrich governance and the quality of leadership of our country going forward. We join his family today in celebrating his life. During this difficult period, it is our prayer that God will strengthen the family and give you fortitude to bear the loss. May Mzee's soul rest in the loving arms of the Almighty God. Thank you. Mukitaka zingine, stories zingine nitawaambia baadaye.
Asante. Watakaofuata ni Moses Nyachae, Chief Nyandusi Nyachae na Brian Nyandusi. Nitaomba wajonge mbele na mkinikubalia let us reduce protocol.